Hi, it's Autumn with Thriving Heart Studio. Today's meditative art will be a focus on our purpose in this world. And sometimes that purpose can feel a little bit more dormant, unseen, beneath the surface, and other times it can be more active, connected expression. So the image of a volcano came to me, and a lot of times things in nature will speak to me about our human dynamic. So I'm going to use this image to kind of help us embrace the ebb and flow of life and the times where we might really sense our purpose and be feeling like we're making an impact, and other times where we're kind of incubating or in a cocoon stage, but they're both very important stages. So enjoy this art. I'll be using these 8 colored pencils in today's art. They include my Blaze and Orion and Unity colors, and I've also added on a brown and a pink for chaos and clarity, which I really felt were important accent colors for this year. As I begin, I'm going to just make a terrain with some different varieties here. Go. So as you see, there we go. All right, so I think what I'm going to need to do is just begin with my chaos. Chaos is brown, so it kind of works well with this layer for now. So I'm just going to kind of trace. So our world can feel very chaotic at times. I think one thing I'm realizing is that we get used to things, and then things change and shift. And they might not be chaotic once we get used to them, but that process of adjusting to change can feel very chaotic, right? It can feel chaotic in our bodies. We can have emotions that are more intense. Sadness and anger and confusion, frustration, all those things. Very, very common with feeling chaos. So we're just going to kind of draw chaos here. All right. I'm just making it like kind of like the crust of the earth, just a little layer, maybe go over twice. All right, now this is human existence. I call Blaze my dark light and I call Blaze my dark blue and light blue, just like the multifaceted humanness that we experience. Our emotions, our thoughts, our relationships, everything kind of goes in here. So we're going to make a layer of Orion. So we're going to start with the blue, the dark blue actually, right beneath our chaos. All right, and I'm actually going to first do a layer of light blue, and then we'll shade a little bit more. So as I do my blue, it's a lot of embracing humanity. Gosh, it just means seeing all the difference and the diversity and the ways we might respond to things, the way we might express ourselves. It's all different, right? And if you can be in a space that listens and seeks to understand more than judge other human beings, you might see you have a lot more in common with them than you initially first think. And a lot of times our human differences can separate us, but they're also very, very important to connect us, because just think of it. If we were all the same, then it would be very easy to just get along and connect. But being different and working on relationships and understanding and connecting teaches us a level of empathy and growth and humility that we might not experience if we weren't around people who were different. So I hope in your life there's people of different political beliefs, religious beliefs, parents that might do things different than you. I hope you have that eclectic experience in your own life so you can grow. I've also found differences can help you realize what's really important to you and kind of decide your own values come out even more when you're around different and you own them. You know that they're yours. So let's just do a little bit of our shading with our blue, our dark blue here on the edge. And I would say this is like knowing yourself, the darker the blue. This is where you're kind of grounded in your personality and your beliefs and your values. And they change, they're not always the same, but you know, if you're an adult increasing in age, you're probably more static than, let's say, a younger person who's still going through that discovery period. Now you might go through life times where everything gets kind of flipped over and you feel like you're starting new again. And you might let go of some of these old beliefs and take on some new ones, right? And that's a wonderful process. Freeing. And then you'll have lots to share in your journey of things that impact you. Okay, so there's our layer of Orion. So now we're going to move on to Blaze, which is your essence, your light, everything you maybe came on earth to do, why you're here. This is when you're loving at your full capacity, you are tapped into your essence and your light, your kind of divine nature. So we're going to represent that with a thicker layer. And I'm going to actually use the yellow first. And this is an essence that's ever flowing. So it makes sense that it would be like our lava. And so it's ever flowing here. We're always shining, whether others are witnessing that light or not, right? We're always shining within. Light cannot be extinguished. We're always shining. But there are some times where we're going to feel and see that we're making a difference greater than other times when it comes to like affecting the collective. So here's a volcano erupting, right? And we're going to just make it look a little different on each side. That side has a big bubble, and a little bit that just kind of goes out, right? All right, now we have this. Here's where maybe we're impacting more people. Maybe you've got a job or a project. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe you're a teacher. This is where you're really sure that you are impacting others. You're getting the feedback. Like people are telling you, you're making a difference, right? And sometimes that, it's easy to get attached to these experiences where we're really sensing that we're making a difference. And most of us have this innate drive to feel connected and feel like we're making a change or a purpose in the world. And our emotional health can be attached to how much we feel we're making the difference we're supposed to. So the challenge is to see this expression and this flowing as equally important. And even, you know, this flowing part here, if this wasn't happening, if we didn't have magma underneath the crust, we would have no volcanoes. And of course, volcanoes are the times where mountains are formed, islands are formed, things are changed, right? But it all happens because of the flow. So I'm going to take my darker orange here and put some highlights and just ground this experience of expression. And the one thing about, you know, the feedback of others, sometimes we go to two extremes. Either we people please and are attached to that feedback from others, or we're resistant to it, feeling like, well, I don't want to lean on that. So I don't really like praise from people, you know, but think about how you feel when you give praise, right? So a lot of times just receiving feedback is a gift we give someone else. Not always that we need that feedback for ourselves, but we give someone else a chance to see us and to recognize us and to value our contribution to the world. And that helps us feel more united and connected, right? It always feels good, like to celebrate someone for something we really appreciate. Gifts, words of affirmation, whatever you do, it feels good. So give others that gift by receiving feedback. And sometimes your feedback of your impact might be, you're too hot. You're flowing in a way I don't recognize or I don't assimilate with very well. You know, leave space for that feedback as well. It's not that you need to change something because others aren't receiving you. It's that you get that perspective of where that person is, or a mindset that might not be open to something you're offering. And that's important when it comes to clarity. And we will touch here with clarity after we do this. But yeah, what we would call negative feedback is actually really positive for our life in so many ways. So I'm going to just darken this a little. These are the times where we're really feeling like we're making a difference. Okay, now we need a little bit of this in here, right? You can see this well. I'm just gonna put some lines and kind of shade them this way. So what gets so challenging when we're just maybe behind closed doors growing or practicing the things we feel are important? We're not sure if others see us, or, well, number one, you get kind of free from that codependency of others' opinions, right? That's important to have time when you're not seeking that, creating for that, aware of that, you know, kind of just by yourself. And you know what you're doing is because you love it and not for anything, any kind of social rewards that you're getting. That's important. We always want to find our purpose independent of people, even though there will be an element of interdependency with them, most likely in today's world, that we are, you know, we are social beings and we have something to offer society. But we can't really get to that until we find it on our own, if that makes sense. We all must grow ourselves first to be able to offer the most to humanity. And it's an ongoing process, right? We're constantly growing and changing and renewing and reviewing and trying to better ourselves, better understanding of how we work. What are our triggers? What are our coping skills when it comes to stress in life? I know, like doing art for me, or dancing, or cooking even, a new recipe can just help me process harder times. Sometimes I don't get the best sleep. That can set me into a little bit of a victim mode. I really, value my sleep. So over time, you'll have developed coping skills. What helps you thrive? So we're gonna just go ahead and darken our magma here, which is representing the flow, us flowing through life, recognizing that doing things on our own without social recognition is so important. So important. And we're always making an impact by growing ourselves, loving ourselves, accepting more of ourselves. All right, so there we have represented our more dormant and our more active stages of impact in the world. Now I'm going to switch gears to put on a little clarity before I put on our unity. So clarity, hard times can help you reevaluate life and realize what's most important. So we're going to kind of use clarity as if it's like a wind almost, or it's creating a current here. Current of clarity that we can share with others. Clarity is just going to be an accent color. Nothing too much, just a little bit here and there. Okay, I like that. All right, and now we're going to move on to unity. So this is what unifies us. This is what we share as a collective. And it's a journey and a process. It's a space we create for each other. If you see someone struggling, perhaps, let's say, feeling like they're not making a purpose. Okay, our attachment, our understanding, our humanness is what could help us say, you know what? You do make a difference. You just might not always see it. And that's important for people to know. I think a lot of times people have ended their life. They've literally ended their life because they have felt that they were not in their purpose or helping others, or the opposite. They're in a mindset where they feel they're a burden to other people. So to remind people of their purpose will plant a seed that I really believe could help reach someone in a very, very dark state someday. If you can become kind of a spokesperson for purpose, and our purposes change. And I think that's something too. And this color represents change, right? Here's the sky. The sky is not always going to be blue. It's going to rain sometimes. Our purposes are going to change. And if we don't let go of something, then we're not going to be able to embrace the next purpose. So a lot of people have lost jobs over the pandemic period, right? So they've had to embrace a new purpose, maybe working from home or a completely new job, or one income, you know, who knows what the change has been. That purpose has been challenged. So if we are grounded in our light. We're not grounded in our circumstances or how we felt ourselves expressing ourselves best. Other ways are going to come. And that might be all part of your life mission, is to shift and to have different ways of expression in this world. And to have times where you're more expressive and times when you're not. And in these times, you know, you're going to connect with people who might be in that stage. And at other times when you're feeling more dormant, you might be connecting with people who are also in that stage. So there's a mutual understanding and camaraderie and support that can happen by just embracing both of these times. I mean, the one given is that you are, if you're a human being and if you're watching this and if you're alive, then you are this life force. And you're not as dormant as you think you are. You're always giving off your energy and your influence in ways that you can't see. So I'm not going to color too much higher with unity here. It's just kind of for the idea that here's where we are connecting together. I think I like that, to look at this as we are unified, connecting together through both of these stages and giving each other the perspective. So if we're too dormant, somebody might be like, here's an opportunity to express yourself. If we're too active or relying on that expression, somebody might say, or life might say, take a break. Go home, relax, reevaluate, watch a TV show, play a game, do a puzzle, make some art. Just relax and realize you don't have to always be on for the world to watch. Okay. Make it a little darker right there. A little darker right here. All right, I'm going to sign my name here. And we called this embracing my purpose. I hope you enjoyed today's meditative art and know you can do it with me, or you can just watch and still get the same benefit of connecting and understanding more of life. Thanks.